Hi folks, it's Coach Kelvin here from the We Run Virtual Run Club and We Run Coach for Leeds and surrounding areas as well as online coaching. In this little video, we're going to look at key workout placement for longer distance events. And when we say longer distance events, this can be applicable from anything from half marathons upwards, but it's particularly relevant for marathons and ultra marathons. So I see over and over again runners carrying way too much fatigue into their races because they did a huge workout way too close to the event itself. And big workouts take quite a long time to recover from. So in this little video, we're going to look at key workout placement and also training block structure for that specific period that leads us up to the taper and the event itself. So here we have the last three training blocks leading up to the taper and an event, and three key workouts. Now this doesn't mean that there are no other workouts within this training structure, but the three biggest workouts and their placement. And we've kind of like done this as in terms of like training load. So if we can see, this is really interesting. As we get closer to bigger events, particularly ultra marathons, we don't build training load throughout the block. We tend to do the biggest week is the first week after a download, and then decrease the load throughout the block. Let's cover why we do that first. So if we look at this key workout one, so this is going to be on the weekend of this build week one, this is going to be the biggest workout that this runner is going to do before their event. So that's 8 weeks out because it's at the end of this week. It's 8 weeks until the event, if the event's on a weekend. And what's really interesting, before this workout, we've got a download week, which is going to be like a super easy week. And then what we'd probably do on this week is keep the midweek workout fairly easy. So we've almost got like a 2-week break before we do this key workout. So this gives the runner the opportunity to practice not only their key workout, which should feel like the event, but also to practice the taper. So they practice, how they're going to feel in a taper, taking that rest, making sure that the carbohydrate intake, nutritional intake, hydration, sleep is all on point. So we're going to go into these key workouts as fresh as possible. So we're not just practicing the workout, we're also practicing the taper. And I quite often hear, runners at the end when, it's kind of maybe quite traditional would be the word, to put the biggest workout on the last week of the training block before the download. And we quite often hear runners, let's say, training for a marathon where, they might do a 16-mile long run and they're like, I just felt absolutely knackered, and how am I ever going to complete 26 miles when 16 miles feels so difficult? And that's because, the training plan is asking that runner to do that workout when they're the most tired. And the idea that we should always be running on tired legs is something that's been a little bit debunked over the years, I suppose, where, the key workouts want to be on fresh legs. So we've practiced a taper, we do the workout on relatively fresh legs, and it gives us a clearer picture to where that runner is. It allows us to add a little bit more training load. It gives race day confidence because that runner's feeling a little bit more how they're going to feel on race day. And it also makes the nutrition practice on this workout more appropriate because we've practiced the whole 2 weeks that are going to lead up to the event, which is what we're going to do here in the taper, where we're going to have a taper week and an event week. And if this was, let's say, a 50k upwards, and maybe for those doing marathons that are maybe around that sort of 4.5 hour plus mark, the key workout, so the toughest workout, is going to be here. So that's 8 weeks out from the event to give us time to recover from that workout. It's going to take 8 weeks before that manifests itself as fitness, and we don't want that any closer to the event itself. The second toughest workout is 12 weeks out here. And the third toughest workout, it doesn't mean that this isn't a decent training load, but what we don't want to do 4 weeks out is take too much risk. So this is more of a sharpening workout. Just testing those last little bits of kit, how the legs are feeling, dialing in pacing strategies. So maybe a little bit of a different way of looking at things where we actually decrease load through the training block so that we have a download week, a relatively easy week, and then the toughest workout. So we're actually doing the 3 toughest workouts of that sort of 12-week training block, and then the event week. We're doing those on fresh legs, and that's more relevant to how we're going to feel on event day. So I hope that made some sort of sense, and if you've got any questions, please pop them down in the comments below. And for now, happy running!